With us now is CBS News national security analyst Juan Zarate. Juan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jeff.
Local police are calling this domestic terrorism. Federal authorities have been a little more careful in their language. What does that mean, and how do they proceed from here?
Well, certainly, Jeff, this is an act of mass violence, but what they're looking at is the motivations behind the shooter. If in fact this shooter was trying to intimidate the population, coerce the population under federal definitions, that's domestic terrorism. That's important because it then triggers a number of things. Resources from the federal government, lead investigation by the FBI, and they'll start to look to see if he was tied to other groups who have hate-filled agendas. And so how you classify this actually matters at the end of the day.
Juan, as Ben mentioned, this is a small community, but they've gotten a lot of attention since 9/11. Has it gotten worse in the last couple of years?
Well, unfortunately, the Sikh community, just over about 500,000 in the U.S., has suffered a number of attacks since 9/11. As was just mentioned, often the colorful turbans, the beards of the men from the Sikh community often are mistaken for Muslim or extremist connections. But Sikhism comes from India, is a peaceful religion. They're not terrorists, they're not tied to al-Qaeda, they're not Muslims, but they have been subject to a number of attacks, including the first reprisal attack after 9/11, a killing in Arizona. And that has increased, and unfortunately, we see the worst of their nightmares yesterday.
Yeah, and Juan, quickly, the shooter now, as you know, dead. So how do they go about finding the motive?
Well, they're going to look at all of his possessions. They're going to look at internet postings. They're going to talk to his family and friends. They're also going to look at his tattoos. The FBI has a catalog of tattoos tied to extremist groups. And so they're going to look at his body and any evidence to try to figure out what he was up to.
Juan Zarate, thank you very much.